seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us. When you got dumb.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Left, 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 left.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. He juked him, and he goes across the 20 to the 22. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down, escaping the pressure right. The ball comes out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know,
and that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. Butker now to kick this one away. To return, here's Agnew.
Well, he gave up the first spot. Big-time return. Board.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing his car on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mahomes now to throw. Looking downfield for Kels. And got his man complete. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 63 yards. Mahomes, the first-year starter, moving the Chiefs right down the field. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Oh, Bolt, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Carr now on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and that takes us from second to third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On third down, Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelce. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you...
Martavis Bryant. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
6-18.
From the gun, it's Carr. Going for the deep ball. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back 1 pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
It's Kelce on the ground. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Mahomes now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. That's going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
808.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Shaquille Barrett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there at 22.
29.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a second down.
Down. 180. Purdue. Let's go.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw on 3rd down, Carr. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Left. Single.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
On fourth down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 20. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10.
You're mine. 57. Mike, 57.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one is incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Justin Houston in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Monday, down. 180. 24. Express.
Now Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaquille Barrett. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
Put 5-man box. 24.
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. Going long for Coates. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
Z. Ace. Z.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back. It's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And the kick by Butker is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And down it goes just shy of the 25. Now, a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
7:34. Down. 180. 24. Purdue.
Now Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Mahomes to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of the...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. A 21-yard touchdown run. And thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense cashes in with 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So the incompletion, and now it's second and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
808. 694.
Back back to the air on second down. It's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Raider first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Carr going to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Carr will try it again on second down. Going deep here for Bryant. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Ace! Left! Slow!
Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Dayon Buchanan in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Ace!
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Heavy!
Geis. They'll try to run it. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. On the ground, Geis. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to eat just a bit into this sizable deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, so they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. DeAnthony Thomas, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Hey, Raider 2. 6-18. Shift. 6-37. 24.
To throw is Carr. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah,
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ace!
They run again with Hunt. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Chris Conley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Purdue. Go Chief. 694. 24.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr, and the Chiefs are going to get him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14.
57. You got 56 there.
Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle here to Coates. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
694.
Carr now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
29. White. 808. You're mine.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And some room to maneuver. The 20. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
808.
From the gun, it's Carr. throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
He finds Coates complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
24.
Carr now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Go Chief. 734. Purdue.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time. And that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So out come the Raiders. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Get set. 280. Hey, 734. Express. Low, low, low. 93. 93.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
29. 29. 24.
On first down, Carr. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
On first and 10, here's Carr. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's forced out right. Now he'll wide open, complete. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Mahomes going to throw it here. Flushed out right. And incomplete on the deep ball. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
To throw, it's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Go Chief. Come here.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10.
Get set. You waiting? Express.
To throw again. Carr. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll give it to him up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Right down. Get set. Wide 80. Heavy. Check 4. Later 8. Purdue. 29. Express.
He's going to get it running right. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. The pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Pinheiro now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And going deep for Hill. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.